There are several reasons why we, the Hampstead School Board, are bringing the renovation and construction proposal of Hampstead Central School before you again this year. They are because the same conditions and needs still exist. In a year's time, some have become even more of a concern, especially as it relates to the safety and security of our children. Because it's our job. By law and by policy, it's our responsibility to do whatever possible to provide high-quality education in school buildings that are conducive to learning and free of health and safety risks. To that end, the Board believes that educating Hampstead's children is a shared responsibility involving students, teachers, other employees, the superintendent of schools, all the people of Hampstead, as well as the school board. We are bringing back the same project as last year. The project provides for a music room, 4 classrooms, and a maintenance workspace, in addition to significant renovations to the 1960s wing of the school. There are also funds to provide sprinkler systems throughout the school building. The need still exists, and it is increasingly becoming more of a priority. This slideshow will present pictures of the facilities inside and outside the school, and explanations as to why this renovation project is a need and not a want. District Policy AB, the people and their school district, begins with, the public schools belong to the people. As such, we are fiscally accountable to you, the citizens of Hampstead. We are also accountable to Hampstead's youngest citizens, our school children. It is our duty to advocate for their educational needs, their safety, and their overall well-being. It concludes with these words. The public should hold itself accountable for maintaining a vigorous interest in, concern for, and constructive criticism of the schools, and for providing the resources necessary for the school board and the staff to accomplish the goals and objectives of the school district. Funding for this project is critical. We believe that the passage of this bond is in the best interest of both the school district and the town of Hampstead. We believe Hampstead's kids are worth the time and energy it takes to provide you, the voters of Hampstead, with the information you need to make an informed decision on March 8th. The following presentation is designed to provide you with the most accurate and up-to-date information available. It will cover the following areas: enrollment, instructional space, what has changed since the last construction at HCS, portable classrooms, safety and security concerns, costs to maintain the portables, renovations to the 60s wing, architectural design, cost considerations, and moving forward, keeping the tradition alive. Central School opened in the 1940s as the community moved out of one-room schoolhouses. In this section there are 6 classrooms, and they are all undersized according to the New Hampshire State Regulations ED 321, Construction of School Building. Those undersized classrooms are currently used for preschool, grade 2, and special education. This section includes small classroom spaces used for special education, the nurse's office, and some storage. The last major renovation was in the 1980s, with the addition that is now the current main entry to the school building. This includes many classrooms, the cafeteria gym, as well as the main office. This section includes 14 classrooms, and most meet the state requirements of 900 square feet. The classrooms are currently 1st grade, 2nd grade, and 4th grade. There are also classrooms for art, computer, library, special education, and remediation. This section also includes the district offices for special education. In the 1960s, there was an 8-room addition, and there were portable classrooms added in 1994, 1999, and 2000. Unfortunately, these investments now have costs that are problematic. These problems will be addressed in this presentation. In the 1960s wing, there are 8 classrooms. 4 rooms used for grade 3 are close to the standard of 900 square feet. The other 4 rooms are used for kindergarten. These rooms do not meet the 1,000 square foot requirement for kindergarten classes. You may have heard or read in the newspaper that some say our enrollment figures are declining and ask, so why do we need additional space? Well, if you follow along, you'll learn that is simply not the case, nor is it the case that enrollment is expected to increase. The fact is, enrollment figures are predicted to remain flat for the next 10 years. Much has been said about decreased enrollment at HCS. The facts will show the enrollment numbers have stabilized and are projected to stay the same for a number of years. The following information focuses on the enrollment of students in kindergarten through grade 4. The preschool numbers are not included in the charts, but HCS always has at least 2 classrooms for preschool children. These preschool classrooms are required through special education. Each year, Hampstead receives enrollment projections from the New England School Development Council, NESDEC. The projections are based on historical data and birth rates. Looking at the trend line, we can see 10 years of historical enrollment and the projections for the next 10 years in the future. The district enrollments are projected to stay somewhat stable near the 1,365 student average. In the following slides, you'll see that the Hampstead Central School's enrollment is projected to remain stable in the next 5 years as well. Let's start with the district's historical numbers. We can see here that the 9-year historical enrollment from 2006 to 2015 has shown a decrease of 265 students across the district, which corresponds with the trend that most New Hampshire schools have been experiencing in the last 10 years. In the 2 most current years, Hampstead's district enrollments have remained stable at about 1,333 children. If we look at the historical enrollment for the Hampstead Central School, we see that enrollment peaked in 2007 to 2008 at 498 pupils. From 2006 to 7 to 2015 to 16, enrollment has decreased by 63 pupils from 494 to 431. As we move toward the projected future, the enrollment is leveling out at Hampstead Central School, showing stable numbers. We can see over the next 5 years that Hampstead Central School's enrollment is projected to increase by 15 students, and Hampstead Central School will see a 5-year average of 432 children who we currently serve. This renovation and construction project will allow us to maintain all instructional services based upon Hampstead's current needs. It will allow us to move our current instructional spaces out of the portables, which were meant to be temporary, into a secure portion of the school. This renovation and construction project is meant to replace temporary instructional space, not add additional rooms. This is a typical Hampstead Central School classroom for students in kindergarten. This classroom can handle up to 16 or 17 students, according to New Hampshire Ed 321 space allotment rules. Our kindergarten classrooms are undersized according to the minimum standards from the state. The expectation is 1,000 square feet per room, or 50 square feet per child. This is a typical Hampstead Central School classroom for students in grades 1 or 2. The classroom can handle up to 24 students according to New Hampshire Ed 321 school building construction standards. Minimum square footage for regular classrooms are to be 900 square feet, or 36 square feet per child. This is a typical Hampstead Central School classroom for students in grades 3 or 4. This classroom can handle up to 24 students according to New Hampshire Ed 321. Hampstead Policy IIB sets the standards for the number of students in each classroom. Hampstead has always prided itself on the ability to offer class sizes below the state standards. Smaller classroom sizes assist in more personalized learning for each child. Please note the policy refers to the state's minimum standards found in Ed 306.17. The Hampstead policy is research-based and defined as best practice that is common in many southern New Hampshire elementary schools. We believe our students perform as well as they do in part because of the student-teacher ratio and that the parent community over the years has never been willing to increase the numbers. And so we do not wish to do so now. The last new construction at Hampstead Central School was over 25 years ago. A lot has changed since then. New Hampshire schools are now required to provide additional instruction space for students. Special education, technology, kindergarten, and enrichment ventures have all evolved since the last construction in 1987. The Individuals with Disabilities Act is the law that opened the door for special education for students with disabilities. Years ago, Hampstead made the decision to adopt an inclusive model designed to keep students with physical, learning, or emotional disabilities in district whenever possible, along with providing necessary services. It is in the best interest of the students and is also in the best financial interest for Hampstead residents, as it would be considerably more expensive to provide out-of-district placements, which include transportation costs. In order to comply with today's laws, we've had to repurpose classrooms to accommodate special education needs. We now have 2 full-sized classrooms that are devoted to teaching children who require more individualized help in reading, math, and writing. We even repurposed closets to become small instructional spaces. The occupational therapy and sensory rooms are housed in the basement of the 40s wing of the building. There is little or no natural light in some of these rooms. Additional space for occupational therapy and physical therapy is located outside in a portable that shares space with a maintenance workshop. Some of our youngest children with disabilities have to leave the main building to receive services. This requires getting on boots, hats, and jackets for the walk to and from the therapy session, taking up precious time for both children and teachers. A lack of storage space means keeping special education equipment lined up in the hallways. Hampstead made the right decision, as children should be attending their town schools with their neighborhood friends. It is in the best interest of the students and also in the best financial interest for Hampstead residents, as it would be considerably more expensive to provide out-of-district placements, which include transportation costs. Effective with the 2010-2011 school year, every public school district in New Hampshire was required to offer a public kindergarten program. Hampstead Central School adopted public kindergarten in 2006. Currently, our enrollment calls for 4 classrooms. Here's an example of a kindergarten classroom at Hampstead Central School. You see table space, rugs, storage, reading corner, and much more. Our kindergarten classrooms are undersized for the typical expectations of students in this grade level, and our classrooms are all below the state minimum expectation of 1,000 square feet. Offering students a 21st century classroom means making sure students are technology literate at an early age. Along with technology came the need to house it, hence the birth of the computer lab. What was a grade-level classroom at one time is now the computer lab. Hampstead Central School introduced computers into a lab setting in the early 1990s. The current computer lab has devices for up to 24 students, as well as many other resources to support other instructional needs, such as robotics and STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. During the years of 2006 to 2010, there were 5 classes placed in the portables, and special education instructional and therapy spaces were very limited in the school building. Currently in the portables, we house 2 4th-grade classrooms, a music classroom, a classroom for the Ventures program, special education therapy spaces, and a space for the maintenance department to work on repairs and projects. Over 25 years ago, Hampstead introduced the Ventures program to the community. Ventures is an enrichment program to address the learning needs of students that are performing above grade level expectations and are ready for a challenge. The Ventures program needs are best met in a classroom and can be relocated back into the school with the passage of the bond project. Though detached from the school building, 4th grade students have typical classrooms inside the portable. The occupational therapy and physical therapy areas in the portables can be re-established in the core school building once the renovation and construction is complete. Music classes at Hampstead Central School are offered to every student in grades kindergarten through 4th as part of the curriculum. Years ago, the music program was housed on the stage. The music classroom moved into portable number 1 due to safety concerns. The Hampstead Fire Chief advised us that the classroom on the stage did not have a proper second exit to accommodate a larger class, which was deemed a safety hazard. Today, we use the stage for school performances as long as the divider wall is open. The stage is also the primary classroom and office for the school guidance counselor, who meets with small groups of children during the school day. Out in the portable, there is a room for general music and a room for chorus. Unfortunately, More than 400 children need to travel outside of the core building for their weekly music or chorus class. The renovation and construction project allows one large classroom for music near the cafeteria. It brings music back into the school building. Hampstead Central students in a portable must go outside, then into the core building for a variety of typical school day routines, such as lunch, unified arts, special education, library, office, and the biggest concern of all, a bathroom break. This leaves the students vulnerable to weather, as well as their physical safety during this increasingly more threatening age in which we live. If for no other reason, the proposed addition needs to be built so that all children are under one roof and are being protected and safeguarded in the same manner. To do any less would be irresponsible. All outside school doors remain locked throughout the school day to enhance student safety. To go into the main building, students must use an electronic key fob to unlock the door of the school. The portables do not have a bathroom or water. If a student wants to fill a water bottle or visit the bathroom, they need to leave the portable and go into the school building. Concern for our students' safety has heightened in the light of the number of school shootings across the country. Student safety must never be taken for granted or dismissed, believing that nothing will ever happen in Hampstead. Children in portables are isolated from the main building, making communication and interaction difficult. Each portable classroom is set up with security cameras and communications with the main office. Teachers need to monitor students who leave and enter from the outside, a distraction throughout the instructional setting. Portables serve a purpose. They give schools the flexibility to handle fluctuating enrollment at a lower cost. But they aren't meant to be used indefinitely. A lot of taxpayer money is spent repairing portables that were intended as a short-term solution. The portables at Central School are fully depreciated, yet we continue to repair and maintain them. In 2015, we had to install new walkways, ramps, and stairs to the portables. All of the ramps and stairs meet the requirements of the Americans with Disabilities Act. In 2015, we also had to install a new heating unit, as the original units were no longer being made. The wall had to be rebuilt by a carpenter to retrofit the new heater units. The portable number 2 ceiling also had to be repaired after water leaks and damage over the winter. This was after replacing the roofing of the portable. The portables are beyond their end of life, which is typically 15 to 20 years. Our newest portable is in its 16th year, and our oldest is in its 22nd year of use at HCS. Over the last 3 years, it has cost Hampstead taxpayers $131,930 in major repairs, including roofing, flooring, ramps, HVAC replacements, and the list goes on. Next year, the plan is to replace the roofs for an additional $24,000. At the end of the day, the portables will be wheeled away, taking taxpayers' dollars with them. On the other hand, the addition will be ours forever, and a permanent addition to be shared with Hampstead's residents. Our youngest children, kindergartners and third graders, are housed in the aging 1960s wing. This wing of the school building has served its purpose well, but the building needs some significant improvement to ventilation and energy efficiency. The 1960s wing was built with uninsulated concrete masonry walls. The walls are extremely inefficient in very hot or very cold weather. The roof has leaked and needed repair. The windows in this area are not energy efficient by today's standards, and there is no sprinkler system in this area or any other part of the building. The plan is to increase the R value of the concrete masonry walls and to replace the windows. There will be a new energy-efficient mechanical system and a sprinkler system installed. This is an exterior view of the classroom showing the proximity of automobiles and the classrooms. Note the vents on the walls as they are directly connected to the classroom ventilation units. As part of this renovation project, the ventilation will be completely replaced with units that are rooftop mounted and far more efficient. Here is a view of the classroom facing the car loop. In this photo, you can see the classroom ventilation unit. This unit brings in fresh air that is part of the heat and climate control. The major concern is exhaust from vehicles that are so close to the school building. We regularly monitor this issue and request the car motors are shut off while waiting. So, what will the addition look like? In a nutshell, the addition will replace the portables and enclose the school. More specifically, the building project will add an additional 4 classrooms, a new music room, and a maintenance workshop. The project will also include renovations to the 1960s wing to reduce safety risks and provide energy efficiency by upgrading the infrastructure. These conceptual drawings and plans from Breadloaf Architects are the same as those presented in 2015. On the upper end, the new construction includes 4 1,000-plus square foot classrooms with bathrooms in blue. This will enable us to use them for kindergarten or first grade. The hallway will help connect this side of the building to the music room, cafeteria area, and outside stairwell. Under the elevated slope, there is room for a small maintenance workshop and stairwell, and hallway which connects to a music room large enough to be able to combine both general music and choral programs at 1,190 square feet. It will connect to the cafeteria and allow for a staging area for community performances, as well as a sound-insulated area away from other classrooms. This is the view from the back of the building, where you can see the maintenance workshop and music room connected to the back of the cafeteria. New insulated panels and windows will be added to the south end of the 1960s wing. There are a number of very good, financially sound reasons to pass the bond this year. Living during the uncertain, financially unsettled days of the recession beginning in 2006, it made good fiscal sense to proceed with some caution and adhere to conservative funding models. And we did. The Hampstead Central School continued to make do, managing the existing challenges without sacrificing quality. We used a Band-Aid approach when emergency situations arose, but were financially unable to provide permanent solutions to chronic problems. Actually, no major work has taken place, nor significant funds been expended on the Central School building since it was renovated in 1987, 28 years ago. Now, however, the time is right. Now is the ideal time to move forward with this building project. And here's why. At this time, the town has no outstanding bonds. At this time, no other town department is looking for major funding. That may not be true a year or two in the future. According to the Wall Street Journal, the recession is winding down. But as it does, construction costs are rising as the economy continues to improve. The Mortenson Construction Cost Index reports a 5 to 6% annual increase in the years ahead. Labor costs are increasing at a rate of 2.5 to 3.5% per year. This bond's estimated rate is 2.5% compared to last year's 3.5%. Even though construction costs have increased, the drop in interest rate may help offset the higher construction costs. The cost of this project will be paid by a 10-year bond that will be at a low interest rate of 2.549%. As estimated by Breadloaf Architects, the cost of the principal over the 10 years is $4,590,786. The interest payments over 10 years add an additional $652,828.14. The total 10-year cost to the taxpayers is $5,243,614.14. The cost of the first year's interest that will need to be raised and appropriated is $68,613.12. This equates to 7 cents on the tax rate or $21 on a home with an assessed value of $300,000. Additional years' principal and interest schedule shows that the tax rate will be affected by the range of 45 to 56 cents over the course of the next 10 years. The construction estimates from Breadloaf Architects has increased from last year by about $400,000. However, the anticipated interest rates this year are lower than last year's, so some of this increase will be mitigated by the lower interest rates. Compared to last year, the total amount of the project has increased $237,326.70. We are very fortunate that interest rates are projected to be lower than last year. The 2015 National Association of Realtors Homebuyers Trend reports that schools are a huge driver of where people want to live. There's a direct correlation between school quality and home values that are very dramatic. The correlation between highly rated schools and higher home prices has been documented by the Redfin Brokerage Report. It found that homes in towns with top-rated schools cost about $50 more per square foot than homes in communities with lower school ratings. Infrastructure is also taken into this account. Modernized schools that meet educational standards, provide instructional space conducive to interaction, and have addressed safety concerns are beginning to play a significant role in where people move. Even homeowners without children in the schools understand the relationship between home values and school standing. Clearly, now is the time to move this project forward. It's in the best interest of Hampstead taxpayers and Hampstead's school children. Hampstead prides itself on the ability of our quality staff to work tirelessly every day to engage our students in rigorous and creative learning. Before we conclude, we'd like to show you some of the many wonderful aspects of Hampstead Central School. Arts integration finds its way into projects that support grade-level curriculum. Here you see a hallway presentation of the Grade 1 butterfly creations. In this hallway display, second grade student essays include art to enhance the written word. Writing is alive and well at Hampstead Central School with the We Deliver program. While learning about the concept of a post office, students learn how to write letters and have them delivered through our in-house post office, known as We Deliver. It's also important to note that We Deliver is a program from classrooms with students that receive many hours of volunteer support. HCS has a wonderful playground that certainly meets the needs of the students. The Grandparent Program pairs Hampstead's eldest citizens with some of its youngest. Grammy Mabel, seen here, began this program, which today provides Grammys in most of our first and second grade classrooms. All of this work keeps Hampstead students consistently scoring above the state in many tests over the years. The most recent assessments were in spring 2015, results that were released in November 2015. Smarter Balanced Assessment scores from Hampstead Central School and Hampstead Middle School students are 13 percentage points above the state in reading. Smarter Balanced Assessment scores from Hampstead Central School and Hampstead Middle School students are 11 percentage points above the state in math. The state tests over the past 20 years have shown similar results through the New England Common Assessment Program, NECAP, and the New Hampshire Education Improvement and Assessment Program, NEAP. The board would like to publicly thank the administrators, teachers, and staff who, because of their daily efforts, dedication, and commitment to Hampstead's children, have continued to deliver a high-quality education and keep our children safe. Because of their creativity and problem-solving ability, we've been able to manage the existing challenges. However, it is unrealistic to expect our educators to have to do so long-term and for our children to receive anything less than the best education in the safest environment possible. As you heard in the beginning of the presentation, educating Hampstead's children is a shared responsibility. The board has identified areas of concern that need to be addressed and have presented them to you, the voters of Hampstead. The town of Hampstead and its schools have a long tradition of pride and excellence and of working together for the benefit of our children, whether it be through providing scholarships, donating their time and talents to projects, or sharing resources. Many organizations have contributed to the education of Hampstead's children. The community of Hampstead shares the responsibility to offer quality programs and services that this community has come to expect. We need to keep the traditions alive and the support strong. The people of Hampstead have always been good stewards of town buildings, as evidenced by the care that is given to the town hall, the library, the fire department, and our newly constructed police station. And the people of Hampstead have always taken their responsibility for educating the town's children very seriously. The decisions we make together as a community say a lot about our priorities and our shared values. Those decisions define who we are as a town. Why is the Hampstead School Board bringing back the Hampstead Central School renovation and construction project? The board, administration, and many community members believe the same conditions and needs still exist, and it's our job to provide the solution. We have provided you with many facts and examples. How this bond is decided is a decision that will shape the future of education in Hampstead and will directly impact the safety and overall well-being of Hampstead's youngest children. The renovation of the 60s wing will improve health and safety of the children. We will replace 4 classrooms and a music room and a maintenance space. We will have more appropriate instructional spaces. We will remove the portables, and all kids will be under one roof in a building that is safer. Please join with your family members, neighbors, and friends, and keep the tradition of pride and excellence alive for the next generation of Hampstead's kids. They're worth it. If you have any questions or want further explanations, please contact a board member, the superintendent's office, or the principal of Hampstead Central School. We need a solution now, and ask for your support.